guess.
It wasn't even on. It wasn't on before. I just turned it on. Ali, you left it off for me, yeah? All right. So it's recording now.
Yeah.
All right. So Nicola, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah. We're outside 10 Downing Street, and you're one of the members of the Stop Human Trafficking Worldwide community group. What has been your role so far within the group, and what is the impact that you're trying to make?
Yeah. Well, basically, I got interested in the group through another lady called Lady Kendall Jagger, who told me about this humanitarian group. So my role so far is I've been educating myself. I didn't know anything about this cause.
Good first step.
Yeah, so I came down to London, came to some of the meetings, and I was absolutely horrified. At the first meeting I went to, I just cried in the seat. You know, I was like holding back my tears. I thought, I can't believe this is going on in our day.
In our own country.
In our own country. And I did speak on the first meeting, not as a speaker, but as a member of the public. And I said, look, I'm a grandma. I've got a grandson. I've got children. I said, what we're going to do about education for these children and these people. There's no formal education in secondary schools about human rights and about trafficking. There's nothing about the signs, and that's something I feel very strongly about, that the general public should be made more aware. It should be on the underground on signs. It should be on the television, you know, explaining about the unseen 130,000 so far in the UK. Which we all know is more than 130,000.
Recorded, isn't it?
Exactly. So how many people don't report a crime to the police? You know, it's a lot more than 130,000. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at.
Okay. So thanks very much for coming along and supporting and being here today as well, because being in the public and making sure that we're seen by people passing by, as well as hopefully by Keir Starmer. If he caught my tag on Instagram this morning, because I atted him on my post to invite people to come to this today. Whilst you're here, like, what have you noticed from the public in terms of their awareness at the moment when it comes to stuff like subjects like human trafficking and modern slavery? Like, what's the public's awareness at the moment?
Well, obviously, the majority of people are not aware at all. In fact, a few people have said to me today, why do we not know about this? Why is it not on Prime TV? Why is the government not telling us about this? And I've obviously explained that I was ignorant like them. You know, I thought it was just an immigration problem. It's not an immigration problem. You know, it's UK nationals and, yes, immigrants. But these immigrants are also vulnerable. They are being misled. Yes, I know they're illegal, but they are human beings and they are not getting paid. They are getting, trafficked into modern day slavery. So basically that's sort of my perspective on all of this.
So just tell me, what do you feel is the most alarming fact or statistic, or just sort of like a pointer that you've noticed? Like, what has stood out to you as the most alarming?
2 points that were the most alarming. One was in the UK, young homeless men, of your age, let's say, they maybe have been to war, maybe they've been kicked out from the grandma's house and become homeless, or maybe they're alcohol dependent or drugs or what have you, being actually taken by gangs in the streets, being told, we'll get you a bed for the night, we'll get you some food, and we've got a job for you. And they go, oh great, it's minus 20 out here, great. They're being taken away, made to live in the likes of a container with other men in sheer filth, and they're being used as gangs, for doing roads or block paved driving or whatever it is. I was absolutely horrified at one of the cases that we've all looked at lately. Awful. And secondly, I can't believe that in the war zones, people who are supposed to be humanitarians are going out in vans, picking women and children up. The women and children are getting separated. The babies are getting sold, babies for sex. And then the women are being brought across hundreds of thousands of miles, wherever it might be, to actually be in the sex industry and having their identities taken from them. And then when they're arrested as prostitutes. I don't quite understand that. But they were the two most disturbing, distressing things I've seen so far. And some of it I don't think I could cope with because it's so bad.
No, I totally agree with you. So, in terms, like, we've got people watching at home. They've listened to your thoughts and your feedback on what the situation's like for people, the people who are suffering, the people who are victimized, and also from the general public and what their opinions are and what their thoughts are, their levels of education. What's something that you would like to tell people that are watching at home? What's something that you would love them to know, or something that you'd like to take away from today?
Well, if you just go on to this organisation here, Stop Human Trafficking, there are some standard trademarks of the signs of trafficking. If you can just look at those and tell 10 people or put it on your social media, you will actually save somebody's life. And their lives are precious. You know, if you can save one life, it's worth it. It's worth all of this effort.
Yeah, it's just like what you were saying at the beginning, that it's shocking how close to home it is. And sometimes it could be somebody that's just in your neighborhood, somebody who's just living down the road from you, that you've passed every single week for years, and you just didn't realize that they were part of a modern slavery or something. And once you know the signs, once you know what to look out for, and you know how to communicate or what the safest way is to actually action something, you can go to the website and find out all of the information, stoptrafficking.co.uk. But thanks for that. It's really important that people know, and so I really appreciate your time today. Thanks so much for being here and for spending some time on camera with me as well. Yeah. It's important that we show our faces and that we show up for this cause, because without you, without Saf, without Sheikh Ramsey Ali, without Rohana, without all the people that are involved within the committee and all the people that come to our events as well, the impact is just going to dissipate, it's just going to dissolve, and we need to stay forefront of people's minds, staying outside 10 Downing Street today, trying to make sure that the politicians are aware of this big global issue that's been going on for too long, for generations, for centuries in fact, and that a lot of people are making a lot of money. They're living a generous lifestyle whilst abusing and exploiting human beings. So thank you so much for all that you've said today.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you.